Get on with the show. And graph technology company Nik Vora is making a play for the Australian market as it reveals plans for a Series F round that will take its valuation to over $2 billion. To tell us more is APAC Vice President Nik Vora, joining us via Skype. Nik, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Simon.
Now, tell us a little bit about the business and what it does and the opportunities that you see in Australia.
Super. At a very high level, Nik Vora is a database company. In today's life, everything that we do, right from sending a text or booking a cab or making a transaction online, booking a movie or a plane ticket in the back good olden times, everything is powered with information. And the information at some stage lands up in a database. Because of this, database market is already a $50 billion market, and it's set to grow to a $100 billion market over the next few years. So as part of the biggest enterprise software market, Nik Vora is addressing that need as we scale more and more. If I talk to you a bit more about a graph technology, let's zoom back to the detective shows that we all used to love. And if you recall a detective board where you have newspaper articles, photographs of suspects, evidences, all pinned and connected with strings, that's really what a graph is. Now, those 10, 20, 30 articles that the detectives are trying to piece together, take it to a machine scale where Nik Vora can analyze 1 trillion relationships under 12 milliseconds only. And that's the power that Nik Vora allows companies like Amazon, Walmart, UBS, Caterpillar, and more to enable themselves with.
So, well done. It sounds like you should be called Nik Vora rather than Nik Vora with that detective work you're doing there with data. Now, tell us about this round, 325 mil US. I think that's nearly $500 million Australian. That's a pretty big boost for the business. What are the plans?
It's a massive boost, I mean. I'm sure you know this, but this is the biggest funding round in the database history ever. No other database company, let alone a company in the graph database sector, has raised this amount. And this amount has been possible thanks to our lead investors, Eurazeo, and participating investors, Google Ventures. And we have 3 broad objectives. We were well funded before this round, but this round allows us to expand and accelerate 3 focus areas. One, as the world is moving more and more towards cloud, as small, medium, large enterprises are adopting cloud for primary daily needs, Nik Vora is accelerating its presence in cloud across the world and including in Australia with all the 3 major public cloud providers. The second big aspect of Nik Vora's new funding round is to accelerate the use of AI in daily simple applications, as simple as the e-commerce website application, where if you have purchased this, other customers have also purchased this. And that customer experience that you get is powered by the magic that Nik Vora creates underneath. And companies like Amazon.com that we all have used at some stage are using Nik Vora to power those experiences. Underneath that is AI by Nik Vora. And with this funding, we can accelerate our work in the world of AI. And the third is market expansion, something that's very close to me personally and for us here in Australia and rest of APAC. We are hiring across all the departments across the board in Australia and here in rest of the region. And we are looking forward to meeting the needs of our customers, of our partners, and also importantly, the open source community.
So I noticed that you've got some pretty blue chip clients there, Adobe, Volvo, UBS, even AstraZeneca, I noticed, is on that list. Who are you targeting in Australia as potential customers, and what customers in Australia do you already have?
We are already very thankful to have Woodside Energy. We work with Tabcorp, we work with Play HQ, and many other customers. As part of our commitment to customers, we may not always be able to share who we work with, but globally, governments, financial industries, security companies, energy utilities, manufacturing, and the digital bond companies are all heavily using Nik Vora. There are more and more applications across cybersecurity, across COVID tracing, across vaccine research, biotechnology, and just increasing your revenue through recommendations. All of these are many use cases provided directly by Neo4j and through our partners.
Well, I suppose you've just outlined something that I've been thinking about in terms of data. How important will what Neo4j does be as we try and open up global borders again and use data to be able to track what's going on and how safe we are and where the hotspots are, all the other issues wrapped around dealing with the pandemic?
That's a very great question, Simon. And just speaking in Sydney's context, recently we had a case of Delta variant, and that is put us in a position where we are going to wear masks for one more week. And it is a technology that Neo4j provides that will prepare us to be future ready. Ring fencing is a major part of being prepared, both for governments and for citizens. How quickly are we able to identify a positive case, ring fence the suspected cases, isolate them, and let rest of the economy not get the burden of a lockdown or possible social impact. And ring fencing is one of these areas where Neo4j plays really well.
Well, it's going to be a fascinating unfolding of how we use this data in the future. But for now, Nik Vora, Vice President APAC of Neo4j, thanks for joining us on Startup Daily, and congrats again on the raise.
Thanks, Sam.